His opponent peeled off to go to that second, third man up to the contest on the centre wing. He goes short.
And back to Vince again. And for those who
How far that go?
are unaware of why we're talking about Bernie Vince being in the news this week, he did celebrate a cricket grand final, one that he was not allowed to play in with his teammates that he played with all year. He wasn't allowed to play in the grand final last week, but he went back and celebrated by having a beer or two, and one of those were in his boxer shorts.
Come on, Dwayne, he had a beer or 16.
Two, he admitted to.
Doesn't.
And he might have a couple tonight if he keeps doing like he's doing so far in this game. Pants up or pants down.
Yeah, he's actually had a bit of the ball already. He's doing very well. 7 possessions already for Bernie Vince.
Tip it up to take the mark. Can release it quickly to a one-on-one in the pocket, but the experienced Glass arrives to help out. Or does he?
Holding.
There's some holding. I don't think it was against Glass.
You're holding his arm, not even going the ball.
They're saying that he hooked onto his arm. We'll get a look at it from another angle. We've got cameras everywhere, so we undoubtedly will.
Against Selwood, I think, on Thompson.
Yes, it was against Selwood.
So, as you said, we'll have another look at it in a moment. They've been inside 50, 10 times to 2. Scott Thompson, what a dominating season he had last year. Just a couple of steps. Doesn't matter, it's a goal. And the Adelaide Crows have made the best start possible. 2-2-14. And their opposition, the West Coast.
The spread is very good now. It's a lot better than the first quarter when they get on the roll.
Initially they got away with it, but in the end they didn't. And Taylor Walker fought a one-man war. And let's see if he can land it. He can! And he's pretty pumped about it as well. 9! It's a super goal for Taylor Walker, who finally has an impact on this game. And wow, what a way to do it.
It came about as a result of a couple of horrendous errors from the West Coast Eagles. There was a fumble followed by another fumble, and in the end he strolled into the just outside 50. You can see Schofield can't pick it up. He towed it cleverly, but then that hand pass from Embley before going to ground, no pressure on him. He waltzes in and straight off the boot he knew it was going through.
Well done by Brenton Sanderson too, because
For Petrenko, watch out, Herm was there to gobble him up straight away. Holding the man, advantage. They'll take it and it will result in a shot for goal for Taylor Walker.
I tell you what though, being involved in that, Barney, just getting that long 9-pointer, he's gone from the worst player on the ground to actually being the reason why the ball's moving around, pinging around in the forward. That contest he just gave out on the centre wing and ran forward from that. I tell you what, he's like Mongo. Don't shoot him, you'll only make him angry. Remember Blazing Saddles?
So Callanan involved again in that build-up, but it's Taylor Walker who has the responsibility. Kicked 32 goals, 13 last year.
He's a beautiful kid.
And that is right through, and the Crows are back in front here at AAMI Stadium, courtesy of Taylor Walker. And as
Still hobbling.
Left leg, left heel.
Thompson, Walker, good putt.
Well, that's disappointing from a West Coast perspective because that was uncontested in the end. There were 3 or 4 West Coast players around him, but no one actually committed to go for the ball. Everyone looked around and thought someone else will do it. In the end, he goes up. Uncontested.
I reckon the steep drop of the ball just stiffed Darren Glass. You see just on the right-hand side of the screen there, probably expected an extra carry of a couple of feet, and he knew he was out of the contest, so he didn't expend any extra energy. This bloke can seriously kick the ball. He's just a footy, he's a sweet timer.
Yeah, accuracy not normally his problem. And that's the perfect start to the second half for Adelaide. They lead by 9.
Last week, boys, we pointed out in the game review that Walker and Tippett weren't targeted as much inside 50 as what Paul Pleasure was. Now, that may have been a match-up issue versus Maxwell, but we just see here, both tools, both key position players make eyes for the ball. That's great signs for the Adelaide Crows going forward in 2012. That's what you want to see from your big bodies. One focus, and that is the ball.
maybe they're following your advice, Kingy.
Scott Selwood looks hurt.
Off the ball here, Scott Selwood's just
Copped a low blow, has he,
Low
Jagger?
blow it was. Jason.
And he gets up quickly, but the kick tells the story. Maybe he's still a little hurt. Tippett gives it up just in time and just on the field edge. Now that was on the paint.
That's 9.
It is for 9. Super goal. Perfect start for Matthew Yanchin at Hahndorf. They'll be getting $500 worth of Sherrins, thanks to the NAB.
We talk about turnovers a lot, but Scott Selwood, if you're going to go into the corridor off half-back and you miss a target, this is what happens.
West Coast haven't been inside their forward 50 yet. Hasn't gone forward to the centre for the West Coast yet. 4 times inside forward 50, that being one of them. 13 possessions to 6 in the opening couple of minutes, 3-4 minutes here.
He just chipped that.
Yeah.
He's got some serious leg, hasn't he? It looked effortless, and that's into the breeze at that end.
So Jensch, as we mentioned, is on the ground. And we also saw Lynch and Kerridge both out there as well. And for the Eagles, Whedon and Shuey having their taking part in the game too for the first time, along with Kobe Stevens, who's on the bench.
Gee, Shuey attacked the body then, didn't he? He's just been sitting on the pine for the first half, and out he comes and rolls one.
We could see some pretty tired boys, I thought, late in that first half. So
Good hassle. Walker to the square, and the mark, splendid mark to Tippett.
Good hands out in front of the face for a round the corner kick. Took that really, really well. Although this man doesn't have the same confidence in front of goal as Taylor Walker does.
No, he's not exactly fluent on the set shots.
But he's learning to make himself more effective, and you can bet he's spent plenty of time on this process throughout the pre-season.
Jason, this combination of Tippett and Taylor Walker, it's a work in progress, but by G, you can just get an excitement of what it will be this year if they get it right. Their confidence is up. Let's hope he kicks the goal.
84% of his shots were from set shots last year. That is his forte, and this is the biggest lead of the game, 25 points. The Adelaide Crows in front.
Just danger stages now. I mean, they're clearing the ball out of the middle, and when the ball gets wide, they're the first to the outside as well with foot speed.
Lynch did well to escape then after getting himself into trouble, and it falls superbly for McKay.
That hurts.
Just what the Eagles didn't need.
This is the best quarter of footy I've seen Tommy Lynch play.
He's been lively, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's had a bit of continuity. I think in the few games he did play for St Kilda, it was in for 1 week and then out the next. So he's been able to play all through the NAB Cup.
6 disposals.
And he's got those fresh legs too that we said all of the boys coming off the bench after the first half have had a bit of an advantage in this second, and the Crows out to a 31-point lead again.
12 points to margin. Too far out to score, he believes. Poor Pleasure. Fantastic lead, and the kick equal to it. He'll line up from 45.
That was an important handball by Tommy Lynch. He knew if he just gets it and plays on, he gets it smothered. But he knew he had to draw his opponent to the mark, hold it steady, and then get it going over the top. So that was the area it could break down, and just a delicate touch. You've got to aim at the leading player's knees. Try and hit him in the knees with the foot in. It gives the opposition, spoiler, no chance.
Adelaide with a good history of getting to NAB Cup Grand Finals. They've played in 5 before, but they've only won 1 so far. And they can see the finish line right now. 18 points to margin.
Well, that's the steady they needed. That'll ease a little bit of pressure. Just give them confidence that they have got the legs. See a few settling words there. Yep.
Yeah.
Just drop it cleanly, kick through it.
He wants the ball, Taylor Walker. He might double back behind him here.
So Petrenko to shoot and just about ice the game. 18 points as it stands. Jared Petrenko, we saw him miss a couple of big opportunities at the other end. But now he can be the difference from 40. Petrenko! It wasn't pretty, but the result certainly is. It's a goal, and the Adelaide Crows lead by 24. And with only 7.5 minutes remaining, the task for the Eagles is getting more difficult by the minute. Riley and the Crows surely this time. Callanan.
You can't just throw it on the boot and kick it willy-nilly, not knowing where the ball's going. Once you're in possession, you've got to control possession.
18 marks between Beau Waters and Darren Glass.
So Brenton Sanderson, who was the assistant at Geelong, but was there just as a spectator on Grand Final day last year, because he had already taken over the job for the Adelaide Crows, has a chance and looks likely to win a flag in his very first outing in a Grand Final for the Crows. Callanan comes in and eases it through, and surely now it's done and dusted. The Adelaide Crows on their way to a NAB Cup premiership in 2012.
So he's got something to work with now.
Sloan, poor pleasure. Big Jacobs, one hand. How about
Paid it.
that?
Did he?
He paid it. He
I'm
secured
not
it.
sure
He stopped the ball.
Did he control it?
Yeah, he stopped the ball.
I thought he relaxed because he thought he had it under control, and then it actually went down and hit the deck.
He probably should have got a free anyway because he was dragged down, but I'm not sure he
Well,
marked it.
he's got the arm back over the
Bang.
shoulder.
No, it's not yet. He's brought it
It
in.
went straight through.
Well, not from that angle. You're behind. How could you see?
Here's a go.
Well, you don't count them.
Oh, you can't pay that.
Perhaps not. I changed my opinion from the other angle.
Well, he did, and he does. He does put it through. And now the Adelaide Crows can just enjoy these last few minutes. They lead by 36 points.